Joining me today, I'm so excited to have with me as my guest, Isabella the Machine Summers, who is an English Emmy-nominated composer, songwriter, producer, and musician. And she's here today to talk about her composing role in the Apple TV series Physical and Physical Season 2 and what is next for her. Welcome, Isabella.
Thank you so much for having me. That was a lovely introduction.
Yes, well, you do so many things. Like, how do you maintain your stamina?
Well, I mean, I don't drink booze, so that's probably the best one, because it means that I never have a hangover. So
Yeah.
I feel like that is one way of keeping in check. I think that, like, I find this job so satisfying and so fun that it's easy for me to kind of like wake up in the morning and be excited about all the various things I say yes to that maybe aren't humanly possible for one person. But I can't help but say yes, because each thing is in its own right like just such a fun adventure. And Physical was the real catalyst for all of it. It was the first one that I did by myself, and I got on with Annie, the showrunner, Annie Weisman, immediately, and she basically just made it so easy for me that, of course, when I then said yes to anything else, I was like, wait a second.
Yes. Well,
Annie's a dreamboat.
well, you have so much, you do so many, you have such a stellar career,
Thank
and
you.
you have to have a lot of stamina. So the show Physical and 1 and 2 TV series was, that would attracted me to, because it's so physical,
You know,
right?
when I used to live in California, I sort of moved to California in the middle of my tour at one point, and I lived there for like 5 years straight, or 4 years really. And I used to go to Soul Cycle and I loved it. And then I came back to England, and then we had the pandemic, etc. And only recently have I, and throughout the whole scoring seasons 1 and 2 of Physical, I would go for a run in the park and like exercise, whatever. But it wasn't until like the end of last year that I was like, oh my God, I've got a Soul Cycle down the road. And so I started going, and I've been going now, it's ramped up to me going every day.
Oh, wow.
And actually, it really reminds me of Physical sometimes. So it's quite funny how I've like gone full circle and ended up like in my TV show somehow.
Yes. No, congratulations. And I mean, like, where do you find your inspiration to write the songs, compose the songs? I mean, it's like you have so Bunny, Aerobic Save Me.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Thank you. Well, I mean, I'm a huge Madonna fan. So when Annie kind of like, she was talking about punk and Bad Brains, and she was talking about come on, tip my tongue. I can't remember their name. Damn it.
No.
But loads of punk music from like San Diego in the late 70s. And then I was kind of like coming at it from this like, oh my God, I loved early Madonna. I was such a huge fan of the Holiday record. And so like, we kind of like started to delve into like that soundscape basically. And I think I really just wanted to make Burning Up by Madonna is maybe my all-time favorite song ever. And I was like, oh, this is my chance finally to like live in that world. So I think I made a bunch of music, and then that was the one that they were like, yes, and that became Bunny's theme. So it's just like what's really fun about Physical is it's a period piece, and of course that doesn't just mean 1920, it means like whatever that period is. which took me ages to work it out. But yeah, so just delving into that world is like, it's so fun. And we've got season 3 coming up. There's a new character. I'm not allowed to tell you, I don't think. I won't be the one to spill it. But we've been talking about, we had a conversation like the day before yesterday about what that character's theme was going to be. And, you know, I was like asking for buzzwords about, you know, how this character behaves and like, you know, what makes him tick, are they angry? Are they badly behaved? You know, all of that stuff. So there's like quite a lot of like, you know, stuff to play with there.
Yes. No, I mean, I just, you know, like I said, funny, aerobic save me, main title, but like, tell us, like, you know, I talked about finding inspiration to, you know, compose, but how much do you love composing? Because you, you know, you have a brilliant music career with Florence and the Machine. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, composing, how much do you love it? You know,
Oh
like
my God. No, hands down, like it's my favorite thing. You know, it's something that I took on just before the pandemic. I did my first television show just before the pandemic, and at the end of a world tour, and I was like ready to try and do something where I would kind of have to be in someone else's world, but like I've always wanted to do filmmaking, and I wasn't expecting to get into it via television, but I got the opportunity to, and then I kind of made a bunch of music for Little Fires Everywhere, and then they became main themes, and I was like, this is the best job ever. And then as soon as we finished that show, you know, I signed on to do physical and whatever else, and the pandemic hit. So like I then had all of this stuff to do at my desk. You know, when everyone else had to stop working, I suddenly had this new career, and like it was just like the most incredible thing that I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't need anybody. You know, I obviously have a big team around me now of all types of incredible musicians and players and organizers, and like there's quite a few people helping me now from their desks too. It's all quite but it's like, you know, such a fun thing to be able to kind of like employ your mates, number one, and then also not have to sit with them all the time, because I can just throw them stuff. And we're in the age of technology where, you know, and it's nice because lots of musicians who aren't on tour want to play music still. So like there's like so many angles, which is why this is such a fantastic thing. And not only that, but also, you know, getting into an entire world. Like with physical, I really wanted to make it feel a little bit Scarface. I was like, just the music of Scarface is so good. And then I also really wanted to make it feel, I wanted Sheila to turn into Knight Rider. I still want that. So like, you know, just like there's so much. Yeah, it's just a great thing. And television has kind of given me such a backbone now to kind of like explore film, which is a whole different beast. And it's kind of like the opposite of doing TV. But I'm glad I did it this way around, because television is very systematic and like formulaic, and there's you know, you have to kind of like you all sit together in the beginning, you decide on a thing, you talk about where the music's going to go quite you know, quite specifically, and then by the end of that call or video or whatever, and you watch down the episode, at the end of it you go away and you do your work, and then you figure out, then you'll get notes back, then you might have another round of notes, and then the following week you'll all huddle together again, then you do it again. Whereas with film, it's a much more artistic way of doing stuff, and it's taken me a minute to give myself the formula again, if that makes sense. Because like with filmmaking, it's like, oh, you sit down and you have a conversation with the director, and really from that moment you're supposed to kind of like get into it. But for a couple of times I just sat there and waited for us to do our huddle online, and then like, you know, have this is the in, this is the out, here's how it goes. And it's like, nope, doesn't work quite like that with film. You have to kind of like to think of themes and characters and stuff like that. So it's a whole new adventure, which is super fun.
Yeah, so you made such an impact. You're so inspirational for
Yay!
film. So
I always said I wasn't a teacher, but I actually think I probably would be quite a good teacher. But I'm not a teacher.
but you're inspirational, and you know you are a role model, and also too, like, I want to ask you, and for the viewers, you know, listeners, what is next for you, Isabella?
Oh, I'm gonna keep going. Like I've got a lot of projects that I'm really deeply in right now. There's some films, there's some shows, there's a cartoon, and I haven't stopped. I'm not sure if I will, but I am making my records, and it's very close now. So that's like, I really need to get. It's like it's become like this record has become like a teenager. I'm like, get out the house now. You know how to cook your dinner. Leave. So I really need to get it out of my computer any minute now. I'm like, it's like burning in the back of my mind, but it's close. And then we'll address what's next after that.
Wow, no, I'm just so excited, you know, for your
Thank
career,
you.
and keep going, and you know, for
Yay.
people who want to check in physical season 2, they can check it on Apple TV, and
Yes, please do. It's a hoot, and we got season 3 coming up now. And every season, I'm like, can it get weirder? Can it get weirder? Which is what we're about to do.
And Isabella, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it. I think that covers everything.
Oh, wow. No,
Thank you.
thank you, Isabella. I mean, I so enjoyed our interview, and thank you for your time.
Yay. Okay, awesome. All right, well, lots of love.
Yes, thank you.